Okay, hello community. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tech with Innovators, organized by Facebook Developer Circle Mumbai in association with Maker Mela. We host a series of interviews with entrepreneurs and innovators and developers from our community. And today we have for our third episode a very special guest, Rohan Gaikwad. He is the director of sales in Arcon for the regions of Asia Pacific, Australia and New Zealand, and SARC. Um, I am Zarna. I will be the host for your evening today. And no matter from where you are joining us, please let us know in the comments which city are you joining from, which region are you joining from, because we are super excited to host you this evening. So, welcome, Rohan. How are you today? Could you tell us a little more about your company and what you do?
So Jay and Zarna, thanks a lot, for inviting me over here.
Mhm.
So I'm a part of Arcon business team. Okay, so Arcon is in cybersecurity domain since last more than 10 plus years. Okay, so I started my cybersecurity journey with Arcon only. Okay, so we are in identity domain. Apart from identity, we do have another product line with us like audit. Okay, then single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, etc. So we carry whole suite, to the market. Okay, so Arcon is also one of the leader in privileged identity management space. Recognized by Gartner as a leader, and it's very proud feeling for us that we are only an Indian company or Indian player or the a single giant in Asia Pacific which voted as a leader in this magic quadrant. Okay, because every year this Gartner, they act as a third party analyst. They come up with the magic quadrant report and what all top technology they portray in this leader. So it's pride feeling for us that we are the leader. And of course, we have presence globally. Okay, and we are leaders in Middle East and Asia Pacific, and of course we are the challengers in European countries and the US market. So this is what about the Arcon, from my side.
Okay, this is awesome to hear today. Like we have like a very diverse company over here. We ourselves are diversifying. Like we generally, so far in the sessions we had a lot of startups, and now to speak with a representative of a global company, and also as you said, like a single team player over here. It's just super exciting. I think today's session is going to be very different, like the insights are going to be very different, and I hope the people who have joined and people who are listening to us, watching us today, have fun. So starting today's interview session with you today, Rohan, like, could you please, share with us the contribution of Arkan in identity management? Like, could you just explain, since it's a very, like you said, it's a very niche domain. Could you just explain what does Arkan contribute when it comes to identity access management?
Okay, so there's in today's digital era, okay, lots of cybercrime, malicious activities are happening all across the globe,
Mhm.
and the penalties and the losses are huge, incurred by organization. This cyber criminal or the hacker, they don't spare you, no matter whether how small your organization, whether you're a startup or you're a well-established organization, they will not spare you. So Arcon act as a, I'll say the immunity booster to the data center. The reason I have used this immunity booster because in this today's COVID pandemic, everybody's talking about I need to take my booster, to get immunized and to fight with COVID. Okay, so same Arcon act as a booster. It's immunized your data center and it protect your data center from this hacker.
Mhm.
Okay, because these identities, as I mentioned that in this security framework, identity plays a very vital role because this is something carries your credentials, your passwords with you of yours. If this password get compromised, your whole activity or whole data center or wherever you have your own confidential data or national security data will get compromised. Okay, so of course, Arcon plays a very, very vital role, making sure that your identities is secured. Okay, your data, your national data are secure. Okay, because we work very closely with the government, PSU, not only in India but globally, and also a PFSI segment where हम लोग सबका money होता है वहाँ पे,
Yep.
right? Simultaneously, apart from this cybersecurity, Arcon, we believe in horizontal hierarchy, not a vertical. Okay, because we give a platform to our young, technovators. Like, we hire many youngsters, from the campus, and we provide them a platform where they can, recommend those their ideas, and we make sure we implement those unique ideas, while developing our product. By doing this, all these youngster gets motivated.
Yep.
Okay, so the contribution towards cybersecurity, the contributions towards the human resource, and to motivate our youngster, as you mentioned that the cybersecurity is very niche. People are very skeptical whether should I go in this or not, because to work in cybersecurity, you need to have a certification. You need to be certified. You need to understand all the protocols and the compliances internationally. Okay, so we motivate people to come, in the cyberspace and work here. You will enjoy it. This is what I can, share with you the contribution of Arcon.
Yep. It's a very, like you said, like it's very new. And being just fresh engineers, like fresh graduates, we do know what cybersecurity is, but then, like you mentioned, like how it is used right now in the world out there, by the industries, by the big players out there, and what sort of a role it plays, it's not is well established. It's not very clear. We know that it just secures your data, but like what will happen if it's not there, or what, how that technology being present helps the company and the product and the data. Like not a lot of talk is happening around that domain as of now, and I'm just so glad that we're doing this right now. And it's just so great to see that you are very encouraging of of people joining this, and you yourself are accepting the fact that yes, it can be a little scary, because there are a lot of things to know, there are a lot of certifications to be done, but again, there is always a method to madness. So if you want to
Right.
learn, if you want to get into this domain, it is possible. And as you said, it's very exciting. So I hope like the developers over here do give it a shot, do give it a chance, read up more about it, and try to understand how it can benefit you, your product, or the future company that you might be joining. So like I said, Rohan, not a lot of us are very well informed about this domain. So like could you like help a software developer understand how should they begin thinking about identity management. Like, okay, I am a software developer, I know how to build software, but like how does identity management come into the picture? And if I want to like take that into consideration, how, where do I begin? Like, what's the first step that I need to take?
Okay, so see, the developers are, it's one of the important component, if you want to build any cyber security product or the tool, because in the cyberspace, we don't follow a standard protocol, because each and every customer has a different set of requirement, right? If I'm pitching my identity solution to the manufacturing industry, their requirements are totally different because their compliance are different. The same if I'm pitching it to the payment gateway industry, the PCI DSS controls are totally different. Same with the insurance, then banking. XYZ industry have their own set of protocols, which needs to be followed. So development or the developers, who is building this technology should understand how exactly my product should be, because it should be as per customer requirement, not as per developer. See, any organization, how they build a product by getting the insights from the customers. Okay, the one who is using my technology. I must be having hundreds of developer, who is sitting in the office. They will put their brainstorm, they build up some technology, and then they ask us to take this to the market, but it should run, right? You will get a requirement only when it's up to the customer expectations, and also simultaneously you need to follow the market trend, because This identity, what I saw 5 years back, is totally different now.
Mhm.
Earlier we used to talk about single sign-on, password management, access control, provisioning, re-provisioning, but now it's something like different. I'm
Mhm.
talking about analytics.
Yep.
Okay, I'm talking about AI ML in this identity space. Okay, so of course developers should have at least basic understanding, when he's planning to build any cyber solution. And also, we are in discussion with the government of India. At least they should provide some basic qualification, in the colleges like 11, 10, 12.
Yep.
Okay, like what we are planning now, we are planning at least to provide a basic qualification about laws. But why don't we offer, or talk something about cybersecurity? At least they should have some basic understanding before we get into the field,
Yep.
because this is very new, in these Asian countries. But of course, we are adapting. We are getting good resources,
Mhm.
and we are doing good. And the Western countries are also, expecting our technology. They like the way we build, and we are getting recognized. As I mentioned, that Gartner is a leader, Arcon is a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So we are getting good recognition. So they should understand the protocol, they should understand the compliance. Like, as I mentioned, that ISO has different set of compliance. Then how you comply those by using your identity access management or privilege identity management solution,
Mhm.
right? PCI DSS has a different set of compliance. Then make sure that your solution cater all those compliance. Because if something is non-compliance and if audit happens, then the CISO or the organization need to pay a heavy penalty,
Yep.
right? And simultaneously, there is a compromise in the data center, and whole data will get compromised if you are not doing a proper audit, and making sure that all the compliance are click. I'm okay with all the compliance, and my data centers are secure. And the second, what I mentioned, that at least basic training, I hope that the government will take this proposal seriously. And of course, they are quite interested, to provide a basic education in this 11th and 12th science stream. As of now, we have proposed science stream, but of course, uh, we'll also have a look on other streams.
Yep, like I think by talking to you, you just like we just understand the importance of like cybersecurity. I think it's just getting clearer and clearer through your experience that we are getting to know like how vital of a role it plays. And it's a great initiative from your end and your company's end to like just like speak with responsible entities to ensure that more people are getting enlightened about it, more people get to know what cybersecurity is, and more people understand how of a vital role it plays. Everybody gets educated about it, and I think that is really really great that you are taking this initiative. And I love the point that you said that you need to keep your customers first. So whenever I think it has been a constant theme, no matter which entrepreneur comes we speak with, they always say that you need to put your customers first. Like developers cannot just get away by building something cool or building something that they like what needs to be built is according to the customers requirements. And I feel like cybersecurity is so tricky because you don't only have to comply according to all the laws, but you also have to ensure that kind of there is that it matches with the company's requirements as well. And I think that it can get like really tricky to strike a balance between the two. Like okay,
Yeah.
the customer wants this, and at the same time we have to ensure that it complies, it's compliant and it follows the law. So we would love to hear more about that during the session. Maybe you could tell us more about it. But for now, we'll move on to the next question. Which is like you said that there is a lot happening. You guys are like speaking with the government, trying to get people educated, students educated from the beginning itself. So like what are the products or what sort of new innovation is happening around identity right now? And like what are the new things that you are working on right now at Arkin? Like what's in store?
Okay, so as I mentioned, that every compliance carry different controls. Then every country has a different set of compliance, which we need to comply. So the new technology or the roadmap, of course, it's confidential. I cannot disclose much, but of course, we are working on IoT, okay, Internet
Okay.
of Things, because lots of smart city projects that we are coming across, okay. And if you want to access any kind of devices which you need to connect with your internet, you need to make sure that everything is secured, okay, because hackers, as I mentioned, he will not spare you, okay, वो जाके hack कर देगा. So we are working on this IoT space. Simultaneously we are working on the automation, like OT, operational technologies, like SCADA, which is
Yep.
more used in manufacturing segment. Okay,
Yes.
see this cybersecurity, it's like it's a requirement for a BFSI segment, but manufacturing, in some countries, definitely it's like they're planning to deploy it. Okay, but simultaneously they also have their own system like automation. If hackers are hacking those, they will shut down your automation. Like you will not imagine that hacker ye bhi kar sakta hai.
Yep.
Okay, right? So we are using the working on this IoT and OT. We have hired a different set of team, expert who are working on this domain. Simultaneously with IoT and OT, we are working on AI/ML, artificial intelligence and the machine learning, which is a new trend in this identity domain. Like what is your behavior pattern, and how you make sure that you minimize or mitigate the risk by
Mhm.
understanding the behavior pattern. See, because in this identity access management, we make sure that we follow a zero trust compliance, a zero trust principle, not compliance. So zero trust is something like don't trust on anybody. Your individual employees or external employees are accessing your data center is a threat to you. So make sure before you giving an access, you validate them, whether they are the genuine users or just or something which is a cyber criminal. Okay, so we follow this zero trust principle, and we work on AI, ML, IoT, OT, and also there are many more. Of course, I will share you later. Okay, which is something new in this identity space.
All this is
So
like
not
so.
only, I'm sorry. So not only we secure the legacy or the modern application, but also we make that we secure your SCADA and operational technologies.
Yep, this is very, very interesting to know that, like, cybersecurity can also extend to SCADA. Like, I have studied SCADA during my bachelor's, and I did not think that it would come into play over there as well. And it's just like, I think this session is like a great learning to see. And even IoT, for that matter of fact, like, it's something that it can be so simply overlooked, but like you said, that okay, there are these like leak points through which anybody who with bad intentions, who is trying to take advantage of like these lead points, can take like get in from these areas, and then try to just hack your system and like compromise your data.
Right.
So it's just so new, and like this was very interesting to know that like it can be like cybersecurity can be extended to all these domains, and including AI and ML. Like it's very, very, very interesting to know. And like I think like the whole journey is like a learning process, like building a
Right.
company, running a company, or building a product. All of it, we just know life is a learning process. So what do you like, did you see any global competitors or any sort of companies making mistakes when it comes to identity management? Like in your experience, did you come across that?
See, yes, there are many. Like if so, I'll just divide this into. So first, I'll talk about the customers. Okay,
Mhm.
so the customers, most of the time, they don't do a proper audit. There are the gaps, and at the end, they end up getting finalized wrong product. Okay, because customer has to identify or select those technology which can help us to cater all the requirement. It's not something that I'm getting at cheaper cost, then I should opt this product or this technology. But simultaneously, you need to make sure that the product which you're onboarding, or you're utilizing this product, make sure that you get a proper support, because in this cybersecurity, onboarding customer is easy, but to retain the customer is very tough, because support plays a very vital role. Your customer, no matter where is he works in different time zone. You need to make sure if something goes wrong, you have a good proper support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the customer end up buying a technology where which don't have a good support. Then sometime they don't do a proper audit, or they ignore it, like it's okay, I have a small set of infrastructure, no matter whether to deploy this identity, why to spend my money in this. Because see what happened, and of course these mindsets are getting changed in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity solution will not generate revenue to you. The management will spend a revenue or the budget on only those which will act as a cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for you this cybersecurity may, you will not earn a generate revenue. It's something that you need to justify your return of investment.
Yep.
If I'm investing this in identity technology, what should be my ROI?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we justify ROI in terms of, if you get compromised, what will be the situation of yours, what will be the penalty that you will be getting from the government bodies,
Mm-hmm.
right? So uh, identifying the right set of technology, onboarding right vendor, doing a proper audit, it's a basic requirement for any organization or the customer. From the competitor side, yes, there are many products which are very new in this identity space. They don't have proper understanding. As I mentioned, for this identity you need to have a skilled resource. Okay, though I'm a seller, but I'm a techno commercial guy. For example, if I'm meeting a CIO or CISO, right, or any decision maker, I should be in a position to answer their questions. I should not be like, I'll get back to you.
Yep.
If you mention that I'll get back to you, you will not get second meeting with these decision makers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes what happen that you also meet the top management. For example, if the deal value is in million, you meet the CFO or some director or board member. You should be in a position to convey your message. You should be in a position to articulate your product in just 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so uh, like you means in 5 or 10 minutes, I need to explain them why Arcon and why identity access management. So competitors, lagging. Some competitors are definitely lagging in this. They give a wrong message that we will provide you this, that. Then the customer is like impressed, and then once they deploy it, then they are like, I don't have it. You need to pay extra. Okay, so here definitely you should be sound. You, whatever you're committing to the prospect, whatever you're committing to the customer, is like means it should be like you should offer it, or it should not be like a false commitment,
Mm-hmm.
okay, to them. So there are many, like audit nahi hota, no skills resource, you commit anything to get the order. But this is what the loopholes which I've seen from the customer and from the competitor point of view.
Yep, like I think through the examples that you just shared, it's like very evident that transparency is the key, and then knowing your material, being transparent with your customer, and just like letting them know that okay, it's this is what you need, and this is what we can offer, and this is what it's just all about like making knowing your stuff, and then making the customer realize that okay, like you you need to be able to sell it in 5 minutes, so you need to be well prepared about the material. And yeah, that's I think that's just like that kind of learning can be extrapolated to any of the other meetings that you have. Like I think it's a great thing to know, and it's a great skill to acquire, to be able to sell things to customer, like not only sell things, like I mean sell ideas, just like to be able to convince them. And it's just it is just great to see that this is also a skill that like people should have and should be able to deliver. So it's just like really nice to know. Now let's try to shift the gears a little bit, and talk about like the new job title that has been appearing everywhere. Like you said, like cybersecurity is something that is being recognized by a lot of companies, and like companies are trying to invest in it, and they do see some sort of value. So like there are a lot of businesses who have like the chief identity officer. So what does this mean really? What are the responsibilities of the chief identity officer, and how did this just come to be?
Okay, so this identity space is a very niche and plays a very vital role, because
Mhm,
this identity practice, every organization has a IAM practice, which we call as an identity practice or digital identity practice.
mhm,
Okay, which manage your identities.
mhm,
Okay, your employee identity, or if your IT infrastructure manager identity, or the third party who is accessing your data center or the application that manages those IDs. If the ID is get compromised, your whole data will get compromised.
mhm,
Okay, so so in every organization they have a person who is responsible for this identity operation. Okay, so which we called as chief identity officer, which is CIDO. Okay, it's a new position. Mostly we see it in BFSI segment. Okay, so he's managing all the identities or the operation response related to the identities, or the team who is working on this IAM and the PIM domain. Okay, so he's responsible for those operation and the project. And simultaneously, in some of the organization, they may not have CIDO, but they have a CISO. So CISO is the position which will look after all your security operations, a technology which you finalize. Okay, in some organization there are CRO as well, like chief risk officer, who is
mhm.
responsible for your security and risk compliances. So of course it's a new position, CIDO, and and they are responsible for this identity domain.
Okay, that's really fascinating to know that, okay, like these there are these people who carry out these responsibilities, and it's just another like domain and another a field where like people who are interested, students who are interested, can actually it is a real thing. It's not something like a unicorn. No, it's a real thing. People are investing in it. People are identifying its importance, and it's as real as a CTO. So I hope people who are watching this right now can get inspired and see if that's something
All
that suits
right,
them.
right. Also, Arcon, we do have a certification program, which is a free of cost that we are providing.
Oh, that's
Okay,
amazing.
on the identity practice. So if some one want to have or want to understand more about identity or the privilege identity, they should access our Arcon University. So we offer the certification program, we do offer training program, we
Mhm.
create an awareness.
Yep.
See, our focus is not to do a traditional sales or to push our technology and generate a revenue, but simultaneously we are in more consultative approach.
Yep.
Like, so whenever we are meeting customer, we don't talk about our technology or we don't devalue our competitor. We understand their need,
Hmm.
their requirement, and accordingly we may we consult them whether you need identity or not.
Yep.
And if you need required identity, then how you should develop in your data center, in your network, or in your architecture. Okay, so lots of good thing that Arcon is doing to create an awareness about this identity access management, privilege access management, single sign-on. So of course I'll share the link, which where we offer the certification and the training, for those who are really interested in this IAM niche domain.
That is great. I think this just like is more, and it's just one of the more reasons to like look into this field. You're not lost, you're not alone. There is like structured course material out there that you can follow, and you can learn, and you can see if that is something that interests you. And it is, I think it is a great part on Arcon's side that they are trying to create this awareness, and not they're not only sales focused. Like we over here also believe in community, and that is the whole reason why we are hosting these series, so that we can, through
Right.
community, we can spread more awareness. And it's just great to see that the people that we host here are also like, they also have that sort of principle at their core. So it's great to know that. And yes, guys, do check out the link we have posted in the comments. We will be posting it in the comments. So do check it out, and more avenues to just learn more. So I hope you guys do have a look at it. And moving on, Rohan, I believe you have, like you said, that you like I introduced you as, like, you are the sales director of all these different areas, and you have been traveling globally, um, and you are from India. So, like, what are your views on, Asia Pacific and SARC and Australia and New Zealand and all these countries responding to identity management? Like, and where is India? Like, how does all of this compare?
Okay, so it's quite interesting if you get an opportunity to meet a different set of audience. Like, Philippines had their own way to deal business. Okay, every country has a different DNA. Singapore, Hong
Hmm.
Kong, then Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Hmm.
Every audience are different, but of course requirements are same.
Right.
Okay, but yes, they do have a different set of countries have different compliances, so we need to make sure that we understand their compliance, we respect their compliance, and we make sure that we propose the solution which will fit in the environment. Okay, so uh, identity is something, it's a very hot topic, because this cyber crime is rising, in this today's digital era, what I mentioned. And definitely you need to make sure that your identities are secured, your password are well encrypted.
Hmm.
Okay, we need to make sure that it should not get compromised. So of course identity plays a very vital role, and we are getting a good response, from these countries. I would like to just share that, when we decided to expand our footprint in Asia Pacific. Okay, when Arcon had decided that to some 5 years back, and my first visit was in Malaysia. It took me 3 hours to explain him what exactly Arcon is and who are we.
Hmm.
Okay, and what identity access management that we are carrying, because these people are not aware about, some people are not aware about this identity, what exactly it is. Sometimes there is a language barrier.
Yep.
Okay, because it take time, to convince them. Okay, because they are not very versed with English communication, they talk more in their own language. Okay, so we that experience I have, and finally he got convinced and he decided, to go with Arcon, and of course he's one of our esteemed customer in the telecom domain.
Hmm.
Okay, so yes, we do have a good requirement for identity access management and the privilege access management, and as we are the leader in this privilege access management space, so yes, customer knows, prospect knows. Wherever you go there, they already do their R&D. That from Arcon team is coming, then what like Arcon is, then you see, you do a research, you see the logos which we have onboarded. So that is totally, a different level of experience that we carry now. Earlier it was like we used to spend 3 hours to just explain what Arcon is, but now it's not that. Customer already understand, prospect already knows who are me and who are we, and what value that we are carrying
Hmm.
with our product. Because see, we are carrying two different set of requirement, one is a product and another one is a service.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is something like, the customer is key boss, you based off India, or if I deploy your solution in Indonesia, do I get a resource who can talk in my own, local language? Because my IT team is something not comfortable with English. Okay, so we make sure that we do have a resource in all these countries. We do have a support center, who can support different countries. Okay, so life is going good here, to be very honest, because we have everything now. Earlier it was not that, but now we have everything. So the responses are good, and we make sure that we acquired almost, now we are the leader in Asia Pacific and Middle East, what I mentioned, but we are planning to be a leader in other different continent.
Yep. Congratulations to you guys to making it big, and I'm pretty sure it was a lot of hard work, a lot of learnings, a lot of going back and forth, a lot of feedback process going on over there, and it just shows that it's possible if you really want to do it, and if you value your customer and put them first, it is possible to become successful. Because again, it's a very very common theme that we have over here, that customer success translates to your success. Like if your customers
Yes.
are happy, that just means that you're on the right path to success. So it
Yes,
was.
and
Mhm.
yes, and it's all about word of mouth, So, for example, if you're onboarding any customer, any whatever you're committing to him, before getting a purchase order and delivering it, it's
Mhm.
like word of mouth, because this cybersecurity community is very small, our world is very small, right? He will recommend your solution to his peer group, and
Someone
it's
else.
become easy sales. No need to like do a cold call or approach them. It's an easy
Yep.
sales. Like, boss, I am using this solution and this technology is great. This is how we generate our business.
Yep.
Okay,
it it,
so
it,
this is
it
what value get carried. Yeah, yeah. Please, please.
no, it just becomes very evident that then that okay, like we had a good experience, and we recognize the importance of having this tech, and it has benefited us. So that just it just brings in more people. That's very very true. It just becomes, you don't need to advertise anywhere, you don't need to, like you said, cold call or anything. It just, because it is something that, like you said, it is something that is needed in today's day and age, where everything is moving digital, where everything is almost digital. It is very very much needed, and people are just recognizing its value. This session was incredibly informative, Rohan, and I'm just so happy that you were able to share some resources with the developers in our community who can educate themselves on this particular topic, which is very niche. And I'm pretty sure you guys can connect with Rohan, and he can probably answer a few more questions
Of
about you,
course.
connect you with the tech team if someone is interested in that. And um, it was really very insightful. Thank you so much, Rohan. Now I think we will move to the rapid fire round. This is the fun and exciting round. So there
Okay.
will be rapid questions I will be shooting at you, and you need to very quickly answer them. Okay, are you ready? Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, please.
Okay, so how many hours of sleep do you get?
9 hours.
9 hours. That's pretty decent. That's actually really
Yeah.
good. That's nice. Okay, what do you do outside of work? How do you spend your time?
So, apart from my cybersecurity profession domain, okay, so I get involved in multiple social work.
Oh,
Okay,
that's good.
like I work on women's empowerment,
Mhm.
you know, uh, creating an awareness on education.
Yep.
Okay, in the tribal areas. Okay, so I travel many tribal areas, in Maharashtra, in Jammu and Kashmir, and I'm planning to travel in other state as well. Okay, to create an awareness there, education is must, for all, means girls. Okay, girls education, and simultaneously the women's empowerment in a social entrepreneurship, that in these tribal areas, so women are totally dependent on their husband.
Yep.
Okay, and they are the daily wages workers. Okay, so we make sure that we take some good ideas and deliver it to the tribal area, where they can generate their own revenue by starting up their own businesses. Okay, so two things, like creating an awareness for the girls education, women's empowerment is something that I, apart from my cybersecurity domain, I work. And then of course I like to watch cartoons with my wife. Okay. Right, so this is how I spend here.
That's
Okay.
that's that's so that's two different ways of spending time. One is social work, and then yes, blow off the steam a little bit, watch some cartoons. Never let the child inside you die. That's great to
Right.
know, and it's just so good to see that you are not only working in a very niche field, but then you are also working towards creating awareness, especially women education. Like it is something
Right.
that really needs to work upon in India.
Right.
so that like women are a resource, they themselves can be
Yes.
independent, and sometimes it's just like very very saddening to see that they don't realize that they can be that and
They
they
have
can
their.
do
They
that.
can. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes. Yes.
it's great to see that you are giving back to the community and doing what you can for them. This is so inspiring. Moving on to the next question, what is that one thing that you hate or don't like being about sales director, where it's like, why am I a sales director? What makes you go that way?
So sometime, what happens, as I'm heading the sales department, and if you're onboarding any project, okay,
Mhm.
so it's very difficult to get all the teams together, because as a sales, we are the centralized, and we need to make sure we deliver what we commit. So getting some help from support, then some from software team, then account management team, then pre-sales team. So it's something quite difficult, sometimes, to get all this in one row.
Mm.
Okay, so so I feel that, why am I doing this? Okay, but yes, it's quite interesting, and I like it, because sales is in my blood. Okay, so when I decided to opt this, so there was a gentleman who interviewed me. Why you want to become, or why you want to be in sales? I told him that sales is in my blood. Okay, at the time I was new, and definitely now I'm realizing it. Okay, and sitting idle is something, it hates me. Okay,
Okay.
sitting idle doing nothing, yeah, something has to be there in your life here,
Yep.
because life is short, we don't know, and it's we get only once here, so
Yep.
just do whatever you like it, enjoy full on. Okay, so I believe in three P's: professional, political, and people. People is something my family, friends; political is something my social activity; professional is something my cybersecurity. I'm enjoying all the three P's.
Wow, this is a great perspective to look at life, and this was very new. So I hope like this inspires like the people who are watching us right now, and like just like think that yes, all of this is possible through effort and through time. Like getting that sort of a balance
Right.
is possible. And it's also very important. It's necessary to keep yourself sane and keep yourself there. Like okay, I don't want to just like work all the time. No, there needs to
Yeah.
be a balance. So this was a very good answer. And so from like you said, you're in sales domain. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of feedback that you get. So like what is that one appreciation note that you still remember?
Okay, so I still remember when I onboarded a giant in insurance segment as my first customer in Arcon. It took me months, okay, to close this, because I was new to this field, and I was not having any connect with this CISO, CIOs. It was very new to me, when I joined it. It took means lots of cold call, then a soft followers, email followers. Sometime the person to whom I was chasing, he was a CTO, a decision maker there. He shouted at me twice. Okay, and then is like, Ron, come and meet me. Okay, I was like, we thought, okay, let's go, let's let's experience this. I went to Delhi. Okay, and he was like, you have 5 minutes now, tell me why should I look your product, and why it's necessary. I explained him. Then he was like, do the proof of concept, and then we'll talk. After 3 months, okay, from the proof of concept, we got the purchase order, and I called him. Okay, so sir, finally we got it. Thank you. So he was like, it's not a purchase order, Ron. It's your discipline, your relationship, your politeness, down to earth, your positive attitude,
Hmm.
towards this domain. And now that gentleman is my WhatsApp friend. He's in London now, so he just, of course, I will be sharing this link to him. So the thing get changed, and okay, so this is what the appreciation and motivates me. And there is another thing, ma'am, I would like to share. When I was in this domain, cybersecurity, I used to chase people, sir, can I get a meeting? Can I get a meeting? And now all these people are my friends.
Oh,
Okay, so
yep.
this is what a journey. So it's
Yes.
it's inspired, it motivates me, ki,
Yep.
things get changed.
Yeah, it motivates you to do more. Like when you know that you
Yes.
are doing something right, and when you get that sort of a feedback from your customers, it motivates. And it's such a beautiful journey to see that, oh, I was like chasing them and now they are my friends. Like from that to this, it's insane. It's just so
Yes.
good to see. It's just so very good to see. This
Mhm.
was this was an amazing story. Moving
Right.
on to the next question. Like I think all of us, we need that one go-to person, like one go-to person. Kuch bhi ho raha ho, if the world is burning down, you reach out to that one person. So who is that one person for you for any sort of tech challenges?
Okay, so for tech challenges, definitely Mr. Anil Bhandari, who is
Okay.
my boss. He's a
Uh-huh.
founder of Arcon. By
Mhm.
profession, he's a CA, chartered accountant, but he's a very techie guy. Okay,
Oh, that's
because of his
interesting.
vision, Arcon is a leader now. Because when I've joined, I'll just discuss the Arcon journey. When Arcon has started, they were having only 15 employees, but
Mm.
now it's more than 500, around 1,000 employees they have in the span of like 7 to 8 years. Okay, and we are the leaders. So he's the one, wherever there is a problem, wherever I feel that I need him, okay, then definitely I buzz him up. मैं अगर रात को 12 बजे भी कॉल करूँ उनको, he will receive my call.
Oh wow.
Okay, so this is how it's. So
Yeah,
he's one
I
of my
think
mentor. Yeah, yeah, please.
I think that's like the key to, like, a successful product, a successful companies, that having that sort of a relationship, having that sort of a comfort that yes, I should be able to hit my boss up at 12 a.m. and I know that he'll be there for me. Like it's just great to see that. Like it's just, I think that would definitely make me want to work for this company, because I know that I
Yes.
do have the help. I can reach out to these people, and I think it's very inspiring to see that you guys just started out as a very small company with like 15 people,
Yeah.
and now you are global leaders in like all these other like geographies. It's just, I think a lot of people over here who are starting out new, who are young entrepreneurs, can learn from that. Like being disciplined, knowing, having that sort of a domain knowledge, and being able to like treat your customers right can make a whole lot of difference. Like that's just like, these are the three cornerstones to a successful product. And obviously, yes, there is that, you know um relentless work that you put in every single day. Like pick yourself up, and like, just, there are going to be problems. I'm pretty sure it's not an easy journey, it's not a straightforward journey. There are going to be ups and downs, and just surviving it as a team like leads to success. It's there, we have you guys as an example that we can look up to. It's just great and very inspiring to see that, Rohan, that the company made it so big. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Yep. And one last question, like I think it's important, like what is your one piece of advice on, maintaining work life balance? You are running around globally, talking to customers, talking to clients. Like how do you ensure that you get that time to watch cartoons with your wife? Like how do you make that work life balance?
See, ma'am, so what I've understand, from all the senior people before getting into this, social and the cyber domain, that do what you like. Don't
Yep.
do the things you don't like. If you
Mhm.
like the thing which you do,
Mhm.
definitely you will enjoy, and you will have a proper time management with you. Because if I like something, I know that I will be allocating XYZ time, for this hours to my profession work, this hour to my social, this to my personal family. So I believe in not other gyan, like yogas and all the stuff. I don't do it, but as I believe in, like do what you like.
Yep.
Okay, you will enjoy. Like 3D में होता है ना वो मैसेज दिया जाता है, it's real, it's true.
Yep, I totally agree that like, if you don't like what you're doing, you will feel stuck at that point. You will,
Yeah.
and that kind of sort of slowly starts dissipating in all the other areas in your life. And I don't think, I also would like to recognize the fact that not everybody has that liberty to pursue what they like. Like there are lots of other factors that come into play, and sometimes they might have to work for like something that they don't like or they don't enjoy, and that's fine. But then I think it's totally worth it to chase the dream, your dream, and chase that thing that you would enjoy doing 24/7, that you would enjoy making it as your work. So I think, yep, that's very, very, very true what you just said. Like, okay, fine, yoga and all is there, but if you just enjoy what you're doing, time mil jayega, time nikal jayega, ho jayega. It'll be a very natural process.
Right.
Yep. This was a very, very, very great session, and I think, like, as insightful as the main technical questions were, I think, like, equally insightful were the rapid fire questions. This is the whole reason why we have, like, these two
That's great.
sections to just understand, oh, technically how is the person, and oh, like, from as a person, how is the person, how are you just like doing what you do. So this was very, very great to see and great to know. I hope everybody has enjoyed this session, whoever joined, and I hope everybody does look into the university link that we will be sharing, that Rohan shared with us regarding cybersecurity. And I think now, I people who are joining new, just for them, I think I'd like to share my screen and, like, talk a little bit more about the community over here that we are, Facebook Developer Circle Mumbai. I'll just quickly share my screen. Yep. So yes, this is the Facebook page of our circle over here. It's Facebook Developer Circle Mumbai. This is the main discussion page where we regularly post about relevant technology, and we host a plethora of webinars. And as you can see, there are updates being put up, and we tend to keep this page as community oriented as possible. We put up polls to understand what sort of technical knowledge is the community looking for, what else is the community excited about, what do they want to do next. So there is a lot happening over here, as you can see. Just a second. I'll just refresh this page. And I really want to show another thing over here, which was essentially the guides page. I'll just stop sharing. I'll share it again. So yep, we are back over here. Over here under the guides page, you can see that there are quick and easy guides for people who are trying to learn new things. As you can see, there is a guide for React Native. There is an AI masterclass that you can follow. There is Spark AR. There are all these messenger bot online training sessions, which are, like, hosted by people like us, people like Rohan, who are here, who are trying to get some time out of their schedules and do something for the community. So it's a great learning resource. We and and as you can see as well, like, we host all these sessions which are very interactive, so you can come and become a part of this. All you need to do is just submit a request, and we will review your request and accept you into the community. I myself have been a part of this community since 2017. It's been a great journey, a great learning process, and I hope you guys have the similar kind of experience. I think I will move on to Pareen. Pareen will join us and tell us more about Maker Mela.
Hello, everyone. Uh, Good evening. Thank you for joining us in today's session. I'll be sharing about Maker Mela and the Makers community. Let me just share my screen. So this is the Maker Mela platform which we have created for makers. Maker Mela is an initiative of Somaya Trust and Somaya Vidya Vihar and is organized by Riddle, is regarded as Asia's biggest maker gathering, which annually hosts 100 plus global maker teams and is the premier event for grassroots innovations. Makers get an opportunity to pitch their ideas to eminent angel investors and government officials, along with Google Cloud credits and AWS credits of worth $2,000, among a few of other benefits which we provide. In 2020, Maker Mela initiated a virtual platform for makers to exhibit their innovations. 100 plus innovators from over 15 countries participated, and showcase their projects on the Maker Mela platform. In past, Maker Mela has received patronage from various prestigious initiatives like UNESCO, Startup India, Skill India, and NYCS. We have a variety of categories for makers to showcase their projects from. We have a list of makers who have done something or the other in various fields and they have uploaded their projects here. So, no matter who you are, we all have a secret skill to share. Come join our community of curious makers, innovators, and entrepreneurs who love to share what you make. Making things make people happy. We cannot prove it, but we know it to be true. You can create an account on our platform and share your project details in the form. Shortlisted makers will be showcased on this MakerMela platform. Connect with other makers and get involved. There are a bunch of opportunities in store for you guys. Who knows what might happen when you put up your creative ideas out on this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pareen, for sharing about Maker Mela. I hope like people do like there's just so much there to like take advantage of, take like get involved and do. So I hope like people do make the most of it. With this, I think we will just open it up for our audience, for the viewers who have any questions regarding the whole cybersecurity space, who have any questions for Rohan. Rohan, as you can see, has been working for a very long time, so he has very vast pool of knowledge, so he can definitely answer a lot of questions for you. So if you have your questions, please share it in the comments, and Rohan will be more than happy to answer them for you. Also, Rohan, thank you so much for joining us. It has been like a very informative session, and it was very new. So I was very extremely excited for this session, because I myself was like looking forward to like learning and seeing like what's happening in the cybersecurity domain. Like it's just so niche. It's just so small, and I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be big. It's going to get there. I know it. Like I especially after talking with you, I know that there is a lot of potential over here.
Right.
We will wait for a minute or two. I think, Rohan, you're getting a lot of
Okay.
compliments. It's great to see that people.
So George Davis is is my colleague. He's based out of
Oh,
Malaysia.
awesome! This is so nice. I feel so like this is so nice to see that people are joining from all across the globe.
Yeah, so
See, this
he's
is.
heading. He's
Uh-huh.
a part of our Asia Pacific team. He's based out of Malaysia, so he has also joined. Thank you, George.
Awesome. We welcome you, George, over here. This is so great to see. I hope you enjoyed this session. Oh, we have someone from Kashmir. It's just so good
Yes.
to see people are joining from everywhere. Wow.
Okay,
I myself,
that's
I'm
great.
from Boston right now, so I'm also trying to join from
That's
Boston,
great.
trying to host it from here. So yep, we are global. This is so
Right.
great to see. People, please do post your questions, and do not forget to check out the link that I think Prerak has shared in the comment section regarding access management, regarding identity management. And if we don't have any other questions, we can conclude the session for the day. For everybody who's joined us and for everybody who's watching, we do host this session every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. IST. So do join in. We have new people, new things happening every Saturday. So please feel free to join and take this ride with us. If there are no further questions, I think we can close this session. Thank you so much once again, Rohan, for joining us. It was
Thank
wonderful
you.
having you.
Thank you.
Yep. So